With your permission, Mr. Speaker, I would like to make a statement regarding 3 arrests that took place this morning as part of counter-terrorism policing investigation into suspected National Security Act offences. I can confirm that this relates to China. I can also confirm that this relates to foreign interference targeting UK democracy. Mr. Speaker, for reasons that you will understand, it would not be appropriate for me to comment on any aspect of what is now a live investigation. It is absolutely critical that we do not hamper the work of the police or prejudice any future legal processes by what we say in this House today. I would, however, point the House to what the counter-terrorism police have just said in their own statement, namely that this morning officers from counter-terrorism policing arrested 3 men as part of an investigation into suspected National Security Act 2023 offences. All 3 men were arrested on suspicion of assisting a foreign intelligence service contrary to Section 3 of the National Security Act. Of course, any decision as to whether to proceed with a prosecution would be a matter for the Crown Prosecution Service. Now, Mr. Speaker, this government stands resolute in our resolve to counter foreign interference activity targeting the UK from any state actor. The government has been consistent and unambiguous in our assessment that China presents a series of threats to the United Kingdom. We remain deeply concerned by an increasing pattern of covert activity from Chinese state-linked actors targeting UK democracy. This involves attempts to obtain information on UK policy making and interfere with our sovereign affairs. From the November MI5 espionage alert warning about Chinese intelligence officers targeting individuals with access to sensitive information on Parliament and government, to the attempted interference activities of Christine Lee in 2022, this government will not tolerate it. And I can confirm to the House that British officials have formally démarched Chinese counterparts in London and Beijing about these allegations to raise our strong concerns. However, as this is a live investigation, it would not be appropriate to comment further. But let me be clear. If there is proven evidence of attempts by China to interfere with UK sovereign affairs, we will impose severe consequences and hold all actors involved to account. In the meantime, the government is taking robust action to ensure the UK's democratic institutions and processes are a hard target for this activity. The National Security Act provides our intelligence agencies and law enforcement with the modern legal tools they need to deter, detect and disrupt the full range of state threats. The action counter-terrorism police have been able to take this morning is an example that that legislation is working well. The political influence tier of the Foreign Interference Registration Scheme under the National Security Act also provides an essential framework for ensuring that those who seek to undermine our democracy are held to account. I also continue to drive across government the delivery of our counter-political interference and espionage action plan, which I announced to Parliament on the 18th of November. This is being coordinated in strong partnership with the parliamentary security authorities. Our aim is to forge a cross-party and whole-of-society shield to safeguard UK democracy. This includes strengthening our legal defences, cutting off channels for interference and supporting those on the front line of UK politics to recognise, resist and report the threat. Now, honourable members should have seen the guidance that the National Protective Security Authority and the National Cyber Security Centre published last year on what to look out for in terms of malicious foreign targeting and some basic steps that honourable members can take to protect themselves. I urge all members to read carefully through the guidance that was issued. If honourable members do experience any suspicious or out of the ordinary interactions, whether in person or online, they should report that to the Parliamentary Security Department. Now, the Government will continue to work in collaboration with the Parliamentary Security Department to set up a range of more tailored bespoke briefings for those who are at greatest risk. And in January, I joined the Director General of MI5 and the Chief Executive of the NCSC to brief the Chief Executives of the UK political parties on the developing threat picture. And I can confirm that officials are now focused on developing a programme of work to engage with the UK's think tanks and non-profit sector to discuss the threats that they face from foreign interference. Our intent is to work with them to strengthen their resilience, ensuring their hard-won reputations and networks are not exploited by our adversaries as platforms for covertly influencing UK public discourse and policy making. Mr. Speaker, in February, we introduced the Representation of the People Bill, which will further strengthen safeguards against foreign interference through political funding. Our proposed bill includes introducing tougher rules for donor recipients to conduct risk assessments before accepting donations, as well as increasing the powers of the Electoral Commission to ensure that it has the tools necessary to fulfil its duties. And the Government eagerly awaits the report of Philip Rycroft, following his independent review of regulations and safeguards against foreign financial interference in UK politics. The review was commissioned to rigorously test the financial safeguards we currently have in place and will specifically consider safeguards against illicit funding streams, including the use of crypto assets. The review findings will be delivered to the Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government and myself by the end of this month, and I can confirm that recommendations, where appropriate, will inform the Representation of the People Bill. We are also working on new powers to counter foreign interference, including a prescription-style tool to disrupt proxy organisations undermining our security. Mr. Speaker, it continues to be in our long-term strategic interest to engage with China. We are engaging with China confidently and pragmatically on areas where engagement is in the UK's national interest: climate, global health, trade, scientific research, but also on illegal migration and serious organised crime, just to name a few areas. But let me be crystal clear. This is not a question of balancing economic and security considerations. We don't trade off security for economic access. Instead, by taking tough steps to keep us secure, we enable ourselves to cooperate in other areas. And we will always challenge any country, including China, that attempts to interfere with or undermine the integrity of our democratic institutions. And we will always prioritise UK national security. That is why the Prime Minister's visit opened up a direct channel of communication to deliver in the national interest, enabling us to raise frank concerns about activities that impact our national security at the most senior levels of the Chinese system, including on domestic security issues. Mr. Speaker, I can assure members of this House and the public that further steps can and absolutely will be taken to defend our democracy. The Government is steadfast in our commitment to disrupting and deterring China's interference activity wherever it takes place. I commend this statement to the House.
Order. I'm sure we'll appreciate the fact that the Minister has come to the House at the earliest opportunity to provide an update on these serious issues. As there is now a live police investigation, members should exercise caution in saying anything that risks or prejudicing that investigation. But I thought it was important that the House, and I've got to thank the Minister who went through this to get it on at the earliest possible time. Sir Secretary of State, Alex Burkhardt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Minister for advance sight of his